You folks had the opportunity to review the many meetings from the May 2nd meeting. Yeah, okay, so I'll look for a motion to approve.
I'll go ahead and make that motion approval for May 2nd, 2024 meeting minutes.
Second,
Second.
any additional corrections? Well, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, so we have two ordinances to introduce tonight. The first one is ordinance 24-03, which is an ordinance of the town of Greensboro adopting a general budget and enterprise budget for the fiscal year beginning on July the 1st, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025, and establishing a tax rate for the fiscal year in the amount of 70 cents per $100 of assessed real property value, $1.51.3 per 100 on all commercial or business personal property, and $1.40 per 100 on public utilities, and to adopt a service charge on the second semi-annual tax payment and an administrative fee adopted by Caroline County. So, this is just an ordinance to introduce, so I'll look for a only council person would be willing to sponsor it. I'll sponsor it. And ordinance 24-04 is an ordinance of the town of Greensboro establishing rates for water and sewer customers effective July the 1st, 2024, and repealing all previous ordinances or resolutions inconsistent with the newly adopted rates and charges. So I'll look for somebody who's willing to sponsor that.
I would agree with it.
And you do need motions for introduction.
Pardon me?
You need motions for introduction and public,
On both of them?
yep, and for introduction and public hearing. Public hearing is June 3rd.
Pardon me?
The public hearing is June 3rd
Correct.
for purposes of motion.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to introduce these two ordinances. That's my,
I'll go ahead and make that motion to introduce ordinance 2024-0-3 and ordinance 2024-0-4.
all right?
And the public hearing.
And the public hearing
In the public hearing that is to be held on June the 3rd
at 6 o'clock.
at 6 o'clock.
A second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Good now? Apologize for you and the public, but I'm new to doing this, so I need some direction. To keep it legal. All right. We're into the public comment. I know that some of you have seen the rules that we passed out tonight. These rules have been in effect forever, near as I can tell, and they're consistent with all local governments in the area. The only thing that we're really talking about is where the comments are limited to 3 minutes. You know, if you're a little bit over 3 minutes, we're not gonna make you sit down, but we're not gonna allow you to just go on and on and on and control the meeting. All right? So the first person on the list is Mr. Mason.
Try to make it 3 minutes. So I'll just hit the bullet points since I got 3 minutes. So there's town council listen, town council that don't. You can decide which ones you guys want to be. So I did start a petition, which Amanda has the signatures for a swimming pool. The money was actually already in the budget a couple days ago. It's not there no more. That's fine. That money was kind of moved into salaries and whatnot, and now we're able to afford, without raising water rates, we're able to afford the higher cost water treatment people. So that's where that money went, and there was $60,000 from Parks and Rec that got moved over to Brandon's department, which we could have used. Go ahead.
You said that we're not raising the water rates?
Without raising water rates, correct.
We are raising the.
$30, just the
Yeah,
$30.
okay.
Yeah, nothing above the $30.
Okay.
Let me clarify that. That's how how she was able to do all that. So I guess again, so there's a lot to hit here. The extra money, there's a lot of cuts we can make. The extra money could have went to pave roads. It could have, possibly with the budget cuts that I suggested to the town, which I know you guys kind of set aside, some people did. You know, the extra money could have went to pay for future trash raises in 2026, things like that. The budget that I looked at and the balance that I looked through, we could have easily have cut close to $605,000 from the budget. Now, don't get me wrong, that's taking a large chunk out of police. And the general consensus of the towns, a lot of people in the town, we don't need a third police officer. We don't even need a second police officer. All we need is you. We want you. Put your budget at 140K, give you overtime bonuses, all that stuff, just keep you. Long story short, once their seats are up for council, we're gonna vote them out eventually in a couple of years and get rid of the police department unless you decide to stay. So that's, you know, consensus. I'm trying to summarize for 3 minutes, since I know people don't want to hear that. Police budget, unfortunately, is 1/3 our entire budget almost, which, again, a lot of people feel is ridiculous, and I agree. So so in a nutshell, our taxes, whether it be you're paying for your house and whatnot, our taxes already pay for a sheriff. Okay, we already pay state police. We patrol by, we're being patrolled by state and sheriff's department all the time. You see them in town all the time. Again, we would like to keep you. That's the consensus of the town. We feel that a lot of your money, your budget can go for other resources, the community pool, which I have a quote for, $195,000. Another $50,000 for the decking and whatnot. So again, I'm summarizing, lots of towns around here don't have, you know, city police and they do just fine. I don't feel that, and a lot of people don't feel that our town's big enough, has enough crime rate, all that stuff for a third officer, not a second officer for sure. Your second officer has a nickname called Tiger Mark, and he's either found at Tiger Mart or he's at Dollar General hitting on the girl that works there. So that's where she's at 99.9%.
I'm not gonna allow you to make those rude comments, and your time is up. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, thank you.
Who's next?
Good censorship.
Mr. Chapman. Just,
Can I do it from here or?
we'd rather you come up here, because if you're over there, it's hard to hear.
No, it's okay. Oh, I only had one thing now, I have three, I'll be within my 3 minutes.
Okay.
When I do live in the town, I'm not in favor of eliminating the police department, just on the record. Two, I'd like to see the line item for salaries and personnel put in one line item and then subtotal by staff position, not scattered through all the other departments. If you can't do that, then I'd like to see how you calculate on worksheets or whatever you're using, how it's allocated to departments. My guess is it's not so clear cut as it could be. It'd be much better and more transparent if it was all in one line, subtotal by position. Third thing, and final thing, very disappointed in how we're making motions. They're not clear, they're not repeated. They should be. They should be recorded very clearly and concisely. And whoever makes it should speak loud enough so everyone can hear, and it should be repeated back, so that we know what the actual motion is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Dalton.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey,
There's a couple things. Chris is always on the good points. He's a very, very obviously well-educated man, and he puts a lot of time into this stuff. I think maybe less aggression should be held towards him. Other thing, the park that's being built, is that going to be possibly the park that's right outside town, like before what is it, Red Bridge?
Yeah. That's county park you're talking about?
Yeah, that part, I don't know if people are aware, but it is a sanctity. I mean, it's a literal sanctity for natural herbs and medicines that nowhere else has. I don't know who planted it there or why a long time ago. But if we could somehow preserve a part of that without tearing it all up, it would just break my heart. There's goldenrod. There is, I mean, we have a whole list. There is just so much there that's it's like magic there.
Can you give me the list so that we can talk to the county and let?
Yeah, can I email it to you? Definitely. I will email it to you, and I would love just as much of that as we can preserve as possible, because there's stuff growing there that just doesn't grow anywhere anymore. Honestly, and it's just a we forage there, and it's just a fantastical place. So before we tear it all to pieces, if we could please preserve some of it. Please, I'm begging you guys. For it. That's a piece of God's land over there. It would just be nice if you guys keep a piece of it.
Well, we'll be glad to, pass along your comments to the county, but we don't have any control over that part.
Yeah, that's
And
why.
I would, let me interrupt you, but I would suggest that you go down to and talk to the Parks and Recreation people in the county directly, so you can give them your concerns and tell them the plans and those kinds of things that you're talking about. I mean,
Yeah, because there's just.
you might have to take them back there and show
Yeah, I won't mind it, actually, it's a fantastic, it's a magical land back there, and it would just really, it would break my heart to see it. And we should try to listen to this guy a little more, he's got something going on, maybe you guys could work out,
I got
outside
it
of
worked
all
out.
this.
I got it worked out, don't worry.
So.
Two steps ahead.
them. All right, thank you. Anybody else, public comment? Yes, sir.
So just had a couple quick questions.
State your name and
Oh, sorry, Tom Chandler, 420 Bernard.
Okay.
Where
I
do
didn't see
we,
you on here, that's why.
I'm so,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But you didn't sign to speak, okay.
I'm sorry about that. Is it available? Do you guys have it available to produce to us kind of breakouts of these line items? I know the one gentleman mentioned like salaries, that would be interesting to see.
There you go.
I do.
Here's the old ones, those are the suggested ones.
Okay, that's cool. It's, I mean, that would be interesting to me. Some of the other ones that are on here that are of interest because I do IT. This seems like an outrageous amount that you guys are paying for your computer stuff. And I'd love to see what that's going towards. Do you guys know off the top of your head how many computers you're paying for right at this moment?
I can't say it off the top of my head.
That would be very important to know, because if you're saying 25,000 for general expenditure, 7,500 for police, I would hope that you would know, well, we're paying that much to support 25 computers, which to me seems like a lot for a town this size. And if you divide that, and I'm sure, I know you have to have internet to the various sites and things like that, and there's probably better ways than paying for direct lines to each one of those sites, where a lot of money could be saved there. So that's just piqued my interest because I do that and I see communication and utilities and things like that where it would be beneficial for us. Yes, sir.
Could you do me a favor? Could you give your information to the town manager
Sure.
before you leave?
Yeah, I mean, I also think it would be good if you have this kind of deconstructed, broken out for all of the line items where it's like, here's how we derive these totals, that would be helpful. So that, and then I'd also sent a suggestion. I know that a lot of the stuff with the water and sewer and trash has been finalized, but I had sent forward a suggestion that I think it would be very beneficial if you guys would give the townspeople the option to not pay for trash if we don't want it. That's a huge expense, and some people don't need it. And that would be for people who can't afford their water bill going up. That would be a really good way. I mean, because that's going up as well. Yes, that price, I believe. But either way, I mean, that's a huge amount of money that I can take my trash to the dump. I can take my neighbor's trash to the dump so that we could all save that much to offset some of the new expenses. So,
We're looking into that.
Okay.
To see how possible.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right,
Is
and that,
there a way we can give him an answer by the next meeting? Or 2 meetings from now? Yeah, I don't want to prolong that. That's the question.
Cool, thank you.
anybody else? Yes.
I'm looking at this year's budget and last year's budget. Real property taxes. It's an increase of $154,000. Where
I have a copy of that.
real property taxes for
So,
FY
Rich,
23.
the public hearing for the budget is on June the 3rd, so I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if she's prepared to answer
Okay.
those questions tonight.
Okay,
But if you see her during the week, maybe she can answer.
All right.
you, but-
I will. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. Department reports, town manager.
Time has been consumed trying to figure out, working the budget with the water sewer rate and,
Mr. Shafi says he's at home.
oh, sorry.
Does
Working
that
on the,
microphone work right there?
no,
We need-
Brandon's checking on getting, some wireless. Working on the budget, with water sewer rates and trying to incorporate everything so that we can get, the other operator in there to get to turn around, as suggested. We did look at funding, possibilities through, Maryland Rural Water, and they are going to help us get, funding for an apprentice out there, so the new operator will be able to, kind of oversee that operator or that apprentice, even though that they are employed by us, they would fall under their license so that they can get the education and the time in so that they can get their license, and hopefully the goal is to bring the plant operations under the town and have it in-house.
So, speaking about the wastewater treatment plant and who the new operator is gonna be, when do we need to, what meeting do we need to do that? Because I'm sure we'll have to do that by motion and vote. So do we need to do that on June the sixth or the second meeting in June? I don't know how much time, I don't know how much leeway that the company would need.
I know that they're asking, but
I would say the sooner the better. You wanna give, both a heads up about what direction you're going.
So we should put that on the agenda for the June sixth meeting.
yeah, because the one will need to kind of transition with the other one. Although the newer one, is very familiar with the plant, so.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Hill.
Is there any way to get detail on that proposal as far as what savings would accrue from taking it under the town's wing versus an outside company? Do we have any numbers or any figures on that?
We're not taking the wastewater treatment plant under our wing.
Yeah.
There will be some partial employment by our employees out there, but it won't be a full, not full, under our full control.
Will there be any savings by doing that?
Yes,
Can we get the detail of that?
they gave us, what they lowered the bid on, but I don't know what that is.
My question remains, can we get the detail of that?
I don't think we probably can discuss that information until after we accept the bid, I'm guessing, I don't know that.
Just file a FOIA request, a FOIA request. I'll give you the information.
Now, I know how to do a FOIA request. I'm requesting it from our town council if it's available first, before we have to go to that route. If it's available, then I'd like to see it. I'm sure everyone else would. If it's not available,
Well, I don't see a reason why we can't give you the information, the bids were public information, and so, the negotiated rate that they've offered up should be available as well.
so we should be able to see kind of a breakdown of what the cut, what the savings might be to the overall expense, or is it gonna increase? Either way, that would be good to know. We should know that.
You
So,
can check.
so the overall, if we go with the one bid, it will increase, obviously, our cost to operate the plant.
Even bringing on this new staff member.
It will be using, it'll be, a current employee.
Maybe so, but I guess,
Mr.
Well, I'm
Bill,
asking for
Mr. Bill, let me
some
try to make it
detail.
simple for you, as best as I can, all right? We received two bids, all right? One bid was significantly higher than the other.
I remember.
Although it is our, well, while we haven't voted on yet, so I'm being careful what I
I
say.
understand.
That if we go, with the higher bidder, we have talked with them and negotiate with them, that if some of our employees do some of the work, would they renegotiate their bid? And they said that they would.
Yeah, that in
So-
writing, do we have that in writing? Because I've seen this happen before, that we think we have it, like the penalties and fees. We
I
didn't
would
get any of that in
assume,
writing.
Mr. Bill,
Yes,
I would
yes.
assume when we sign the contract, it would be in writing.
Yeah,
So
so we have your assurance that it would be in the contract.
Yes.
They would agree to do
Yes.
that. So I guess further detail would be appreciated, whatever can be provided. I think the more details given, more transparent, the better we're able to make good decisions. That's my opinion.
Where were you at, Pam? I'm sorry.
That's,
Right, thanks. All right, town attorney.
We don't have anything.
All right, thank you. Chief?
We got a lot of complaints, I believe you're the one that asked us. Traffic enforcement in the area of West Sunset Avenue, from Main Street all the way out to the other town. I've got a breakdown from May 1st until today, well, yesterday, of the activity. I think most of it was speeding. We had a few citations, a couple of traffic arrests, out of it. But most of the, traffic stops were there were for speeding.
So, the public doesn't see what we're seeing, but, I count 23 traffic stops between May the 3rd and May the 14th. Is that
Yeah.
accurate? So, I know that we received complaints from citizens about vehicles traveling too fast, particularly when the kids were getting on the school buses. And then if you drove through there at about 8:30 in the morning, there was a lot of kids out there. And so we asked our police to pay close attention to that. And I've seen them out there making traffic stops, so they've made it leave 23. So thank you, Chief, for paying attention to that.
We've had a very busy month so far with, some people who are, in mental distress. We've had 3 emergency petitions, 2 adults and 1 juvenile. They went to the Easton Hospital, they were evaluated and they were, later released. But when they make, thoughts of harming themselves, then you have to take them to the hospital, for the professionals. Had a couple, other traffic stops, not on Sunset, but have led to, driving while suspended, a couple driving without a license. So we're trying to stay to the vigilant, out there as best that we can. But, it's, every day's a challenge, so.
Hey, Chief, if you don't mind me asking, I had a couple residents call me and stop me on the streets. Is there a way you or Jake could be at the elementary school when kids get dropped off there in the mornings? Evidently, it's a congestion spot there, with buses and cars and walkers.
I've been there, on day shift, usually after I leave Sunset, the buses are there at 8:20, I usually leave about 8:35. And I go out and sit, and you're absolutely right, it is a nightmare. Coming off of 313, the backup, there are people on the shoulder, in between the school and 313. And then coming northbound, there's several people who want to make a left. And the people who are coming straight south aren't gonna let them in, or so it is a nightmare. I don't know, we designed that entrance, but it gets very heavily congested. But I am out there and, I tell my officer to get there as well, to monitor the traffic. But that system is right, it is a zoo.
Maybe you should have a conversation, if you can, with the state highway and ask them to meet with you out there and take a look at it and see, maybe they have some suggestions or some way of, improving it.
Is there an update on the speed camera?
Huh?
Is there an update on the speed camera?
Oh, I don't know. Have you heard anything, chief?
So oops, sorry. We're getting, so there's 3 speed camera companies. One is Red Speed. The other one is Ultimate, which Denton PD uses, and then Fredericksburg uses a third one. We've been in contact with 2 of the 3. Eventually, I'd like to have each representative, come and maybe, explain their process. How much the fees are, or, at least give everybody an idea. And then I guess the council will have to vote on one of the 3. But that is in the works as well.
Gotcha.
So I see we have a lot of new people in here tonight. Just to let everybody know, we're talking about putting speed cameras up there by the elementary school.
Yeah, it's, once we've deemed the road a school zone, we adopted a town ordinance. And the speed camera can be, anywhere within a half a mile of the school. So it has to be in a school zone. I'd love to put one on Sunset, because we probably make a mint, but there's no school. So it has to be, in that zone. So it's probably from the elementary school down to maybe Elmore Court, I think is the range.
We homeschool Bernard, you can use a loophole if you need to.
We can use the whole.
Doesn't that church do schooling right there on Sunset?
I don't know.
Greensboro Baptist is a co-op.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think kids are all the time.
Well, then maybe when the guy
And
comes,
Paul has.
he can answer that.
Yeah, but it's all Academy Street.
They have pre-K, right?
No, I'm talking about the one on Sunset, West
Yeah.
Sunset.
Yeah.
The one on the left.
Yeah, they have
No,
pre-K.
that's
The Baptist
the Baptist church, they have the Christian, or homeschool, but then the Methodist church has
The daycares.
the pre-K
It's Sunset.
sunset.
I would ask that
When
question.
the rep, comes, we
So-
can certainly ask if that's one of the ones.
Chief, I think, unless the council tells me differently, I think the preference would be for you to get the 3 bids and have each company submit a bid to you. And then you and your staff, the town manager, select which one you think would be most, because I think they're all gonna be very similar, other than the price.
Of course.
What the reputation is, 2 other agencies that have had them. And then whichever one you think is most appropriate, bring that company in to speak to the council, and not have to sit through all 3 presentations, because I think they're gonna be very similar.
Okay.
Is that okay with you all?
Yeah.
Anything else, chief?
No, that's it.
Public Works.
USG came out, they did work, went around with them, about 18, meters that either the NTUs, most of them were NTUs, that there was an issue. So they got them all programmed, hopefully all the issues are fixed. Working with Rob Morales, about getting the water tower behind, Save a Lot, it's due this year, so trying to get it fit in the schedule and all that. Monday, we got the smoke test, so we might have to push brush back a day, because, we're gonna do a smoke test on the other side of the bridge. We're gonna start there, and then we're gonna work our way back to what we fixed a couple of years ago, and just make sure that there's no big, problems. And then just working with the code, helping with code enforcement, I think there was about 33 code violations. I think like 18 of them was grass. And, but just want to let it be known on the record that the grass violation, the town has, I had talked to Tammy before I even went out. I mean, we know that it's been a lot of rain.
Right.
And, we gave a lot of lenience on the grass. I mean, the grass that's out there is, I mean, it's been like that for 3 weeks, a month. And not even been protected.
Right, it's been too muddy.
Can't wait to cut my grass. My grass is hot right now, but I can't wait to cut it. So,
But when it goes out with the grass letters, the first one is just, it tells you got 10 days to cut your grass. It's not, a lot of people panic about it. It's just a warning that says, hey, you need to get your grass cut.
Yeah, but they feel like they're living in some kind of HOA or something when they get a letter like that, you know what I mean? So they take offense to it.
They pay their bills.
I mean, I mean, I haven't got one, I'm just saying, you gotta look at it from a perspective of a town person, or, you know, just a general population, they get really pissed off when they get a letter, like, this ain't no HOA, like, I'll cut my grass when I feel like it, and there has been a lot of rain, you know what I mean?
But wait, we also have people that show up here wanting to know why people aren't cutting their grass and why the community looks like this.
That's true
It's
too.
not their business.
That's right.
But it
They don't
it
live
is
in that-
because
They
it's
don't
right.
pay their bills.
It's just not.
No, I agree, I agree.
That's a big deal. We're not the only
It's
town.
not a big deal to you, and that's fine.
Some
It's a
people
big-
pay their bills. They're
I did cut the grass,
not
too.
paying their bills.
Okay, all right. We are not going to get into this.
Guys, I had a question, I'm sorry, I didn't, bring it up when I chimed in because the whole contracting thing wasn't brought up. You guys said on the highest bidder, because aside from being a mechanic, I do a lot of HVAC contracting. So aside from, you said that the highest bidder was willing to let your employees work for their insured, licensed, and bonded company? Did I hear that correctly? Because that's just a very, very unique opportunity. So are they gonna hire our guys, put them on their payroll, insure them?
No.
Then it doesn't work. If one of your guys got hurt, they will sue that company out of business. That's a very unique
I don't think
opportunity.
that it's, they're not working for them at all.
They're
They're
training
just taking that portion over. So they're not working under them. They're just doing that portion. And
But
I don't
it's
think
a talent
that's a huge
apprenticeship.
opportunity because it's what they're doing now.
It's something that is being, we're not the first ones to do this. We're not starting something this new. All right, so, moving on,
Mr. Mayor, just a commendation, 2 weeks ago, I called Public Works Monday morning. I forget the date, it was less than 2 weeks ago. And within a half hour, they were there, I appreciate that. Within, around an hour, hour and a half, my problem, which was fairly severe, was fixed. And I think sometimes we forget to say thank you, so thank you, appreciate that. And I appreciate the responsiveness for that most of all. I don't like having to call 911 on a weekend, I feel that's out of place, so I didn't. I had a problem Friday, and I wouldn't call 911. Brandon since said that they're expecting that, they're used to that. If that happens again, in about a year and a half, it probably will, I'll call them, but, I do appreciate the responsiveness. It was much appreciated.
thank you, Mr.
And
Bill.
he was the only one there working, and it was kind of raining, and him sweating in the rain, and my plugged up sewage line, quite a mess, but Brandon, thanks.
Yeah, I do want to thank him as well. They came and, they helped us figure out our part of our water issue, leak. So I do want to, thank you guys for that. I should do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Parks. Community outreach and parks.
Not a lot has gone on since our last meeting 2 days ago. We had, you guys came out and did the basketball game with the kids, and that was so fantastic. I've gotten emails from the parents that are excited that you guys attended that. I don't think that the elementary kids will ever forget that. They had honestly the best time, and things have just been hectic, so I haven't been able to post any pictures or videos, but I will post that. We've been working on finishing up some 3 grants this week. It feels like everything is due this week. We've been working on that. Brendan and I went and helped at Aaron's place this morning for about an hour and a half, unloading trailers, and it worked out in our benefit. We were able to stock our pantry with some different things tonight, from blankets to bathroom rugs, towels, sheets, things that are not an essential thing, but they're nice to have that we're not usually able to supply in the pantry. So that worked out really well. And, that's what we are.
Didn't you also have some conversations this afternoon with Park Recreation about some projects that we're looking at in town?
Sure enough, and it was dicey in here, so I wasn't gonna bring it up, but, we did go to Parks and Recreation today and we discussed the community pool.
It's a great idea. How's that?
It is a great idea. The reason that
We probably got half the funding too, don't we?
So Chris, will you please let her talk?
we do not have half the funding, so due to the restrictions of how it has to be built, it's over, they've priced it out already. She was saying it's over $1 million because of the fact that you have to have bathhouses and showers installed and different things like that, and that, she basically shot down all our hopes and dreams, and I was defeated when I walked in out of there, but we did find they're gonna work with us on a grant for, community parks and playground. I think that's the name of the grant, about, potential splash pads for over park, so while it's not a community pool, it will be something, and that would be,
Sounds like a great idea from somebody else from in the past. It's awesome.
right, well, there's
Have you
new
guys reached
people.
out to Ryan and asked him about the pool?
Yeah, that's where I got the quote from.
Yep, we did, but, the county said that, that it's a no-go, that they would not assist in that, so, and we can't do it by ourselves.
We should have listened to the town council member like years ago. Great
Right,
idea.
well, we're on the up and up with that, we've got different people up on this table that are listening and
Awesome.
on the council that are trying to put it together, so. Parks and, Recreation Parks said that they will assist us, with that, but that will be closer to 2026 because of how grant cycles run. So yes, I did.
Thank you. Thank you. And the only reason I brought that up years ago, Christine brought it up too while she was on the Parks Board about the splash pad, because I think Fredericksburg
Fredericksburg does have.
has the splash pad, and I went over there and looked at it, and it's full every hot day.
There was a splash pad and there was another type of pad, it's escaping me, it's just another upgrade from a splash pad, but I forget the name of it. She said that we would have to look into that just because of the more water you use, the more chlorine and different regulations that go with that, so that we are looking into that. That was most of our day, honestly, with Jamie, was that conversation.
Well, and one other thing, Whether gave her a proposal for the boat ramp, and she's gonna work on that, and that, if she's gonna send it over after it's all said and done, and, she's gonna apply for about 100,000
Yes,
on it, so, if everything goes through, hopefully 2026, that boat ramp will be repaid.
and they're gonna build it up, so the water won't lay there.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Cool.
Ask a question. For Parks and Rec.
Sure.
Is there any possibility of you guys relining the tennis courts at over what pickleball courts in like promised to us back before it was built?
They're
They're not there. They are not there. There are pickleball lines on a tennis court and you cannot play pickleball on a tennis court with the tennis net. It doesn't work. You might as well play- Huh?
Does the net have to be taken down to play, or, I'm sorry, I don't know the rules.
So, yes, you can lower the net, but it's still not a regulation pickleball net, because pickleball net's not as wide as a tennis net. So, I mean, it's, you might as well, and literally kids go over there and kick soccer balls over, because no one plays tennis on it ever. We live right across from it, so it's never used for tennis, and we had a whole contingency of people like, yes, pickleball courts and can't use it.
Right, I was under the impression that, I don't play pickleball, I
Right.
thought that was a setup
Yeah,
that
you can't.
worked. So you would need it to be relined and the net,
No, so like if you go to Goldsboro or Denton, the 4th Street Park in Denton.
right,
Basically, I know, I'd have to measure it, but I'm pretty sure it's the same there, where they actually have pickleball lines on both sides
okay.
of the tennis court, and then people bring portable nets.
Actually, that's what I thought they were supposed to do.
No, they lined it
We were
directly
led to
over
believe
top.
that you could do that.
So you
We were
can't-
told that they were supposed to bring their own net. and it was like-
Well, no, you can see the pickleball lines, just it's not, to play pickleball on a tennis net is not conducive.
It was supposed to be each side of the net, was
Okay.
a separate pickleball court, and they brought their own nets, and they would play on
Yeah,
each
they
side of
didn't
the
do
fence.
that, they literally lined it right over top with the tennis net in the center of the court, so.
Well,
So you could literally have 4 pickleball courts going, and you
Tom,
probably would have them going.
when you get a chance, can you get with Amanda and go out there with her and show her exactly what's going on? Because we were led to believe that y'all will be able to do that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were
That's
under
not-
the impression that
That
it
was
was
under a grant.
pickleball court also.
The net's supposed to.
No,
No,
it's like,
that's your own net.
Yeah, no, but that net for tennis you're supposed to take that down.
It's supposed to be retractable from what.
Yeah.
I
From what we
thought
So
they
you,
went to
once you
that.
remove that net, then That's how,
I don't.
That's how it's explained to us.
Yeah, and most of the time, those cranks aren't even there to lower, because you can lower it down to the height of a pickleball net, but then the net is still too wide for the pickleball court, so. Yeah, like Goldsboro and Denton both have it the same way, and Goldsboro bought like a portable pickleball net that's always there that you can slide on, but in Denton, just everybody brings their nets. And I can promise you, you would have probably all
Because
four
no one
courts
does
going
view
at
it.
once.
My son's probably the one that's kicking it over the tennis ball.
Yeah, yeah, it's, I'm just saying, like, that's all it's really good for, like, people are like playing like volleyball, soccer, with these nets, because you can't play anything else on, but no one uses them for tennis.
Yeah, let's get that fixed, because we are under the impression that that was part of it.
Yeah, if you rely on them, I can almost guarantee you, because Denton is full capacity, and there's no other real outdoor nets around here, so.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And I asked them today, one of the things I'd like to see us working on is a walking trail. And I was telling Amanda and Brandon today that, you know, I like to see us to be able to connect, you know, the senior league park. And somehow maybe get it, you know, maybe through the new development at Kimmons Meadows, we could work it that way, connect it over to Over Park. And maybe back down on the street, we just make a big loop for people to, I know there's a lot of people that like to do a lot of walking, and you could utilize it for riding your bikes and stuff like that. It might be a better trail for everybody to follow, just something.
In the
Well,
works.
That's what I was told in the work, but I haven't seen that, so great. Glad to hear that. Good. Anything else, man?
No, sir.
All right. Fire company, Mr. Rich.
Yes, sir.
You're
Good to see you. Okay. Just
I like
let
to
you
start,
know,
I can actually hear something going on, not that I can hear what's going on, but I hear you fire.
got yourself scared.
Uh,
Yesterday, the chief and I went across the bridge and picked up the new command vehicle, which will be put into service, probably got it middle of next week. It's a 2023 Tahoe. Quite expensive.
Big money. We have all kinds of money.
Sure do. Come on and join us. We raise it.
Got anything special coming up real soon?
No, our tractor pull, as you know, was canceled due to the weather. The next event's gonna be the carnival, then the rodeo, and our other tractor pull in September. Continue to rent the hall out. And hopefully, my committee that's supposed to be doing movies, hopefully we'll start doing driving again, so.
How about your additions? Is it close to being done or? done?
It's all enclosed in that. Matter of fact, electrical is just completed. I'm waiting on the sprinkler guy to get in there, the guy that spray foams. And then we got the carpenter who's gonna put up the wall and everything, the doors and that we need. We'll be up and running.
All right.
Rich, I got a question
Yeah.
for you. I have a lot of people always ask me, how much does it cost to rent the hall out? I said, that's not our hall, how much?
It's $700 for 4 hours. Okay, we require a $300 security deposit, that's refundable. All right, and we think that that price is fair. If you go and try and rent the cow barn, $3,400, $3,600, $3,800 for 4 hours. You have to take your trash with you when you leave there. Caroline, the old Caroline Country Club, the gentleman that rents that, $3,000 for 4 hours. Once again, you gotta bring this, that, and everything else. We provide you the chairs and tables, and you don't have to take your trash. We
That's
got
more
the
than
dumpster.
apples, man. You're comparing a country club to that. That's crazy.
It's not a country club anymore.
Used to be.
Used to be.
The people that use the funeral home, that have service at the funeral home, always think it's fantastic. They think the price is unbeatable.
I just feel
They
like,
always.
I just like if you lowered it to where, like according to the budget of people around here, the average budget, I bet you rent that thing out once every 2 weeks. And I bet
It is,
you-
Sir,
And having the ladies
sir,
auxiliary
sir,
also helping with food has
So-
been phenomenal for the.
So, all right, we're gonna move on this conversation. You can go to the fire company meetings and talk.
There you go.
Everybody. We got nothing to do.
I did have one thing for Rich. I already told Dawn, but by chance we ran into the Chamber of Commerce. And they said to make sure you let them know when you have things. or you can email me the flyer and I can send it to them and they'll start promoting you as well.
Okay. Thank you. Cool. All right. Old business. Anybody have anything under old business that you want to bring up and discuss? No?
Is that open for everybody?
No.
Didn't think so.
For new business, I need a motion to amend the budget so that we can introduce,
The agenda.
The agenda.
the agenda, what I can, what I got to bring, amend the agenda, so that we can introduce, a resolution to allow us to apply for a grant application for partial funding of the community outreach position, for $50,000. Give a motion to amend the agenda for that motion. Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So. I need each of you to sign this, please. We need to have it finished, so they can turn it in. You're welcome to read it.
I'm sorry, was that just the motion to amend the agenda or was that the motion for the resolution?
Yeah, I guess we need to do the motion for the resolution, do that one. All right, so I'm looking for a motion then for
Yes.
resolution -01, which is the resolution to allow us to file for the grant application for partial funding of the community outreach position of $50,000. Need a motion for that, correct?
Yes,
Second, a motion? Motion. Second?
and then would you mind restating it restating the motion for the public?
So the motion is to allow us to apply for a grant application for the partial funding community outreach position of $50,000 is what we're asking.
Which means.
So I got a motion and a second.
It's so that we can apply for a grant to fund my job.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? All right. Mr. Bill, I apologize, I'm new at this, so I need guidance from a lawyer to keep it legal, all right, and
Twice to get.
I'm gonna get trained when I go down in the conference, but I need it bad. So bear with me, I'm trying.
Thank you.
All right, town council remarks. Anybody have any remarks, comments? All right, then I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion for you.
Second, all in favor? Right.
I did.